Yes, people, back again. Match reaction. United versus Forest 3-2 with the fans, the guys, them. We have CM here, we have Brush, and we have this guy. You have vibes. This guy's changing his picture like crazy. You know? Look at him down there, fam.
Big up realist.
Unlike Ten Heisenberg, yeah? What you man saying?
Come
You
on,
man
man.
good?
Just about. Just about.
Yeah, it was a
Listen,
good game.
we
Good game.
What?
I said it was a
I
good
don't
game.
I don't like how we got there, but I guess 3 points is the most important thing.
Yeah. You know, the getting there was it was a sticky one
But
still.
how do we speak about the start? You know, two early goals. The first one from our very own corner. It's a simple clearance up in the air. We missed the knock on header, so we lose that battle. I think that was Wan-Bissaka going up for that header, and then as Awoniyi comes away with it, it's a little battle with Marcus Rashford, and Awoniyi comes away with the ball and sprints and beats Onana. Some people are kind of questioning, did the goalkeeper go down a little too easy? I hear that, but if you look at the replay, Awoniyi does a really good job of kind of faking the shot before he shoots, and it's a well taken goal in the end. But just even the second goal, the low giving away the free kick too easy, and then you've got Wan-Bissaka and Martinez in front of Willy Body, who just backs up and gets an easy header into the back of the net. Those guys, it took them a while to wake up, and that's where a lot of our concerns will reside, because again today, just a really poor start at home. You think about our first home game at Wolves, first game of the season, it wasn't a great performance. We got the victory, so we were hoping we'd come here today and really put down a marker. But I guess it's one of those things where we're gonna have to wait and see how this team develops, because we for most of the first half, I would say not a good performance. Second half, we were better, but I don't think that's the standard that Ten Hag would and should expect from the side. So as much as we showed character and personality in coming back into the game, Bruno scoring the winner from the penalty spot, we have to be a lot better from the beginning. And this is a problem we've had in the past.
Big time.
Absolutely.
Big
And
time.
also on that first goal that we conceded, why was Rashi the furthest one back? Why was he the one chasing after Awoniyi?
You see, that is true, yeah. But I see CM said they had a little battle. Him and Rashford had a little battle. But
Oh, listen, only one of them
that
was
wasn't
winning
a
that
battle,
battle,
fam.
bro.
That was a mauling, fam. He just said, "Big man, get
Yeah.
out of the way. I'm just passing
And
through
then
here and just
yeah, no,
blow by him, fam."
all credit to him for the composure and the finish and the sprint speed to run away the way he did. With Onana though, we've talked up his
Yeah,
abilities and leaving his line, but it was almost as if he was caught in no man's land. He was in two minds on whether he
he
should
was
rush out
breakdancing,
or
fam.
keep to his line. And then eventually, when you watch it back on the replay, it looks terrible the way he dropped, but it's just because I don't think he could make up what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
Bro,
I
he
think
looked like he was
maybe
breakdancing.
if you was being highly critical of him, you could say maybe he should just try and stand up and block the goal and use his body to kind of limit the space for one you to slide it into the back of the net.
Mm.
But I just think you can also say what Brush said in terms of him not really making a decision and going out. I think at that moment of time, just before it goes into the back of the net, I think Awoniyi did a really good job of just faking the goalkeeper, sitting him down, and then finishing.
So let me
He
ask
did.
this though: any positives you man see from this game today? Positives and negatives. We go with the positives first. Any positives at all?
Perseverance. It builds character in it. When you play terribly and you go two down, psychologically, we've discussed it before, really, where this team loses a bit of fight when we go a goal or two down. So it was nice to see that fight back. Hopefully, that gives them a bit of confidence as well going forward. But I would hope that we avoid such silly mistakes to begin with. Like, I don't understand why we need to concede in order for the lads to wake up. And yeah, the two goals that were conceded could have been avoided. So that would be an area of concern for me.
I think
Yeah.
there was that we had to dig deep today for this one. We had to dig deep because
Oh, and guys, in the first half as well. I mean, it could very easy. Well, two things could have happened. It could have finished 2-2 at halftime. Casemiro had a great chance that he missed. I don't know how. And also they had a really good chance late on as well, where it was cut back. Gibbs White, and yeah, so it could have worked. It could have gone either way.
that's the one that Dalo intercepted, yeah.
Yeah. So it could have been 3-1 or 2-2 at halftime.
This was, you know how basketball has been played, right? This game was like that today. You know, it was just but at least in the first half, it was a bit end to end like that, and then second half it was more or less we took the driver's seat, and I mean we was in control of the game because the possession stats was mad. We had like 64% possession of the entire game. But the thing that's bothering me for the past 3 games is the duels, fam. We ain't winning them, bro. We're not winning them. I'm looking at it right now. They won 60% of them. We won 41. No, they won 60 duels. We won 41, fam. That's not nice, fam.
I think the other thing concerning me, sorry, is the fact I think you're all gonna agree with me on this one. It's just Rashford cannot play up front. He's got to play off the left.
You saw at one point in time we switched, right? You saw Anthony and Rashford switched, right? And when they switched, Anthony was running at defenders on the left side. Rashford was just there, fam. It's like if you don't put him on the left side, you get nothing out of him, you know.
Yeah. Very rarely does he do anything on that right.
Yeah, he was there and he was like, it's a struggle.
We forced it. We forced it in the past, but yeah, his overall game on that right hand side is just not comfortable.
Was nice. Negatives? Any negatives?
Well, plenty of negatives. After the game, Eric Ten Hag made a comment on Rafa Varane saying that there were some complaints at halftime. So we'll have to wait and see what that leads to. Up front, if there's an issue, because I know we will say Rashford shouldn't play through the middle. But again, today, Anthony Martial kind of struggled in that position and struggled in a way where he didn't get a lot of service. So, we'll speak about Rasmus Højlund potentially coming in for Arsenal or even after the international break. But who's to say that he will have different fortunes to the strikers that have played there previously, i.e. Martial and Rashford? Because right now, I think our front line are struggling to create. I would say we're creating chances, but a lot of the time, once we get to certain areas, they break down, whether that's taking an ill-advised shot. We saw a lot of that from Bruno today, even though you do give him credit for the contributions to us turning it around. Anthony as well. There needs to be more in terms of creating opportunities in our front line. And I know Bath Time in Realist Watch Along kind of was explaining what we're trying to do in the front line and trying to create spaces with the way that we play. But I've always had the opinion that we need a little more off-ball movement with our forwards, because at times we can be a little stagnant, and that becomes very easy for defenses that are just sitting back. We can have all the possession that we want, but if we can't break down defenses that are set, we're going to struggle to win these type of games, especially when with Nottingham Forest taking a 2-0 lead. All they wanted to do was sit back and defend. And yes, we came back, we scored 3 goals, we won the game. But number one, we shouldn't be in that position in the first place. And number two, as devastating as we can be in transition, we also have to look at the other side of the game and say, well, when teams are sitting back and asking us, what have you got to break us down? How are we going to do that? And I just think sometimes we do struggle with that, where we need to be better. And a key component, in my opinion, is the way we move off the ball, especially after that pass.
Know what? Yeah, I remember at one point in the first half, I think we scored already in the first half. We had like 250 passes, bro. Nottingham Forest had 35. 35, bro. They already scored 2 goals. That's all they had. Bro, teams just let us have the ball, bro, because they know we ain't breaking them down, fam. So I was saying that we need movement, bro. We need. So I heard what Barton was saying, but y'all, I don't know. Rush probably know this. You know, Cat Williams has a joke where you're talking about the lions and the tigers and that when they put them in the fake habitat. He said, man's just trying shit, won't work, trying shit, switch it up. Bro, just switch shit up, fam. Sometimes you just don't need to persist in doing something that you believe will work or you want to work, but it's just not working
for real. But
teams.
we know how
switch it, bro.
stubborn our manager can be, really. And also this season, I actually expect him to double down on that. You know, from what I see.
But come on,
I think he's gonna fully just go ahead with what he sees fit as his philosophy, and it's gonna alienate some people. And I think he's just gonna ride it out until a time where he can, you know, replace those with people that fit his objectives.
You remember at Ajax, right? The last team he had before he joined us, obviously, he had people. The first team was the technical one with De Jong and all them, man. That was the saucy team he had. And then the second team was the one with Klaassen and these, man.
Yeah, Gravenberch.
Where they had to, like, they switch their football up a little bit. It wasn't the same fancy possession, nice thing. Obviously, they're one of the better teams in that league, so they will still be dominant. But they had to switch it up a bit. You think that's where he's trying, like, yo, I don't really have the best players here, so let me just try to tweak it a little bit, but we still have to play what I want to play.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between, isn't it? But it's very early to judge. It's very early to judge. Obviously, from the outside looking in, you know, we can only see certain things. I don't know what it is that he sees. Like, I know a few of us had the same concerns with some of the signings and whatnot. But you have to entrust the manager to, you know, get it cooking. It's a bit like with Arteta when he signed Kai Havertz. Like, I was certainly one of those that questioned that signing. But clearly, you don't sign a player like that unless you have something in mind, right?
True. We got the people in the chat here.
With Ten Hag, you know,
Nick, Rich, all these people.
Even though Mason Mount wouldn't have been my first choice, he certainly was the manager's top pick. The fact that he earmarked him early, got him, and gave him the number 7 shirt as well shows the amount of faith he has in him. So we have to just entrust that he has a certain vision in mind, and hopefully.
Think about this question here.
What's the question?
So what's the problem, guys? Ten Hag got a squad. Look, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to. Yeah, definitely a bit of both, because you'll have people out there speaking about Ten Hag. You have people out there speaking about the squad. I think, you know, at the end of the day, both parties are equally to blame, as much as we speak about even the board, the way they've recruited this summer or failed to recruit certain players this summer as well. But with Erik Ten Hag, like, it's 3 games now, 3 unconvincing games, and I guess we will have to see the road ahead and to kind of decide what we think on how Ten Hag is developing his squad and his playing style, because what we've been led to understand, especially from his comments in pre-season, is that he is pretty much adapting to who he has and altering it as the games go by, it seems, at least. Because we don't have a squad that's technically good on the ball. We've known that from last season. We've known that from previous seasons. So what are we relying upon here? Well, transitional football and quick turnaround when we do win back possession. And that comes with a lot of risks in terms of giving the ball away and being attacked, being played through in the middle of the park, because we don't have the, I'd say, personnel to really solidify that area of the pitch and cover those areas quick enough to prevent teams playing through us, our spine, should I say. So that is definitely an issue that we're gonna have to fix over time. I don't know if before the end of the transfer window we're gonna do more business. It may seem like that with the type of reaction that's coming and how reactionary our board is in terms of transfers, but I don't know. Something's definitely going to have to be fixed in that regard, because if you look at the way we are, even if we do improve going forward and being more ruthless in front of goal, you'll still look at us defensively and look how exposed that back 4 is. We speak about the partnership of Varane and Martinez last season. They're being exposed a lot with how open our midfield is. Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw's injured now, so that's somebody we're going to be missing at least until after the international break. Mason Mount, who was brought in to help out with those defensive duties, again is injured. Probably won't see him until after the international break. So we're going to have to rely upon the guys that haven't really been playing that much to start this season. Your McTominays, your Delos, who kind of gets rotated with Wan-Bissaka, but he was deployed in the left back position today. People spoke about Alvaro Fernandez, who played in pre-season. Not sure if he's going to get much of an opportunity as well, but guys are going to have to step up because this board, we don't have a lot of time to bring in the numbers we hope to have brought in during this summer. And also we haven't got rid of the guys that we hope to get rid of. Your Maguires, your Eric Bailly's, who's still at the club. And Dean Henderson looks like he will be on his way out to Crystal Palace sooner rather than later. But there's still a question of who we're going to bring back in, who we're going to replace, because, you know, at this point, like you guys said off the stream, it will probably be loan deals. But looking for the long term, who are we going to be looking at and bringing in to add to the quality depth that we're trying to build? Because I don't think this summer we've strengthened in terms of having that depth. And you probably may say we need to improve the first team and make sure that they are good enough first. But at the same time, we will struggle if guys are picking up these niggling injuries and we have nobody else to replace them, or nobody that is of the quality to replace them at an equal level or close to that.
I agree with that. I agree that 100%, because let's be honest, most times you make, I understand there are 5 substitutions, but when you look at our bench and you look at some of the players we have there, it's like, do I really bring him on? Think about it. He took Varane off because there was some knock or something happened there. And then you look at the bench in terms of options and what there's Lindelof, there's Maguire.
Yeah, well, Maguire, he's out of favor. Henderson will be leaving soon. Facundo Pellistri, we've been calling for him to get more game time, but it seems like something within Erik ten Hag is telling him that he's not exactly just ready for that yet. Alejandro Garnacho started the first 2 games of the left wing, and he didn't have a lot of joy, a lot of promising drives here and there, but I don't think physically and mentally he's ready to endure that kind of responsibility just yet. And we had Dan Gore being called up to be on the bench today, and of course Alvaro Fernandez coming up as that backup left back because Luke Shaw is injured and we're extremely short in that position, having let Brandon Williams go out on loan, which in my opinion was another guy we probably should have got rid of as well, but he's out on loan. It is what it is. So, you know, the depth there, Jadon Sancho, Victor Lindelof, who I think is a valid backup option, and Scott McTominay. So you look at those 3 guys and say, with Garnacho, of course, and say, well, is it really good enough or sustainable enough for a long season where we're going to play, like 45, maybe 50 plus games?
You know what? Yeah. In terms of what Nick just said here, this is something I was speaking about during the week. I can't remember if it's just Vibes or it was Vibes, Brush, and myself was talking about it, and I was like, we have players here, but they can only just play one position. And sometimes during a season, injuries happen, players lose form. You need to switch things up just to switch a tactic or switch a player position just to help get you through the season. And most of our players could only play one role, bro. We have no versatile players that we could say, oh, you can play here today, and then, you know, you could give us like a couple minutes or 2 games over here. We don't have that luxury, so we could say, yo, even if he's not in form, we could still just shoehorn this player here just to get us by for a couple of days. We don't really have that. Everyone we have is mostly, oh, I can only play here. I can only play here.
And if you see what Arteta's done with a lot of his recruitment, the players are all interchangeable, bro. They're all very versatile.
Exactly. That's the thing that I think is going to help you, because let's say you're let's say the board, like how the board's moving, right? Let's say they ain't really want to back him in January. Let's say they don't want to back him in January, but he have versatile players that could play multiple positions. That could still help him out.
Mm-hmm.
That could still help him out because we could be like, I know we ain't getting what we really want, but you could do a job for me. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Second half of the game, to me, that's when I think that we kind of dug deep and showed something. We showed something, except for you see that last
some great
15 minutes.
Yeah, it was very shaky.
That last 15 there.
I didn't like the extra time, man.
That
was shaky.
I didn't like it, bro.
11 minutes.
Our referees are pagan. Thinking this is a golden goal or someone, just blow the whistle, man.
That 11 minutes was bro. If you were sick or something, or you have some type of problems, yeah, it's not helping you, bro. Because fam, that was it. Whew, especially because they decided like they want to spam crosses now. They were just spamming them in on the ground, in the air, everything, and I was like, this is not looking good. This is not looking good. Because when you see man like Chris Wood, bro, these big bastards up there, fam, and man start crossing ball, it's really. Ilanga had an opportunity as well. You saw that one. Ilanga had one as well. We crossed the ball and it's not nice.
Well,
nice.
Boy, that's the interesting thing. There were a lot of chances in this game for both sides. Anthony almost bent one into the corner of the goal. Good save by the keeper, who I thought, back Turner, he was very shaky in that first half today. Spilled a couple of opportunities, and even though we had shots, I just don't think we tested him enough. For Forest, Morgan Gibbs White had
shots in total. We had 18 shots, 9 was on target. They had 9 shots, 4 on target. They scored 2 goals.
Madness.
That's it.
2 goals.
Absolutely.
We had 11 corners, 11 corners. And one of those corners were like an assist to them, fam.
Yeah. How are they going to score from our corner, bro? It's ridiculous. And in terms of set pieces, like we've been judged ever since that set piece guy, Chris Ramsey.
Yeah, get rid of that brother, fam. Get rid of that brother, fam. That brother came in. Oh, big coach,
I have to mention that ridiculous Bruno Fernandes free kick, bro.
You know what? Yeah, we say ridiculous here, but the way it looked there, that looked like some type of training ground, something.
Yeah, they need to get back to the training ground.
He actually kept looking at Dalot, but like I don't know if Dalot just.
Nah, but realistic, watch it back, bro. They need to get back to the training ground, bro. I'm all for running drills from the training ground once you've perfected them. Like what we saw looks ridiculous, especially from that angle as well.
Not just the angle, the distance. It wasn't far enough.
Yeah.
18, you can try it.
Yeah, and you see how the keeper was to one side as well. Why not just try and pick out the top corner?
No, it's
definitely
too close to go for the corner. Too close. I'll blame Dalot for that one personally. That's just me.
For switching off.
Yeah, you should have known. You could listen. You can't really bend it top corner from there. I think it's a bit too close to go for a shot personally.
I mean, sometimes it depends on the technique. You can get it up and over, but I get what you're saying as well. We had 11 shots outside the box. 11. They had 11 shots,
You're telling me we can't score from corners, but they scored from our corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, it was
how it happened.
Yeah, it was bro, intercept. That's another thing, bro. We do not. I know the last 2 games, the problem people were saying, it's the midfield, it's the midfield. Was the midfield the problem today? And they can't say it's just because Mount wasn't there. The midfield wasn't the problem. The defense was the problem, fam.
I do think the midfield is a part of that, though. I will say.
No. I'm not saying the midfield is perfect, but in terms of how people were saying, it's the problem why we lose the games. I really don't think it's a problem like that. The way they say, the midfield is the problem why we lose the games.
I think it is a big part of it. But it isn't just defensively. I think creatively as well. But I just don't enjoy the fact that when we watch a Manchester United game, you will know that the midfield will be wide open. And in the Premier League, like I was watching the Spurs game earlier today, right? And you can understand out of the ball, they structured themselves very well to the point where they were forcing Bournemouth to play in wide areas, and they just couldn't play through that Spurs, especially earlier in the game. Once they took the lead, they couldn't play through the middle of Spurs because they were structurally set up to the point where they were forcing them down wide areas, and then Spurs were quickly winning it back and creating attacks of their own. That's where I look at Manchester United and say, well, it's all too easy, because for us, it only takes one pass to take a player out of the game, and then you've infiltrated the middle of the park and create an opportunity from there. And that's what Nottingham Forest were having a lot of joy in doing in certain parts of the game, especially the early stages. Even though the set piece, we got caught out there, and the second goal was through the midfield, but still building up to that point, you can look at it and say, we're being played through far too easily. And when you go up against a team like Arsenal, even though they drew today, Brighton, who's coming up next, and don't even speak about your Manchester Cities and co, they will eat us up. They will take full advantage of those frailties.
Don't you think it's to do with the way Ten Hag is setting us up tactically? Because there was like a good 30-minute spell where every time we went in attack, Casemiro was inside the box, fam. He was the one at the end of stuff, and Bruno was the one playing DM, fam. I'm like, brother, if we turn the ball over in these attacks here, it's not going to look good, you know.
Realistically, you saw against Spurs as well, right? How much Cass pushes forward to the point where a decent amount of chances fall to him.
Yeah, but no, I ain't even talking about the chances. I'm talking about if we get countered on. Yeah, the midfield is not midfield. It's not there, you know, because
because he hasn't got the legs for that, bro. He needs help.
The person who's our DM is the person playing AM. So
I'm not sure if people expected him to push us forward as much as he does.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know what Ten Hag is doing. I don't know what he's saying to them. I don't know what's going on. But you see this, everyone in the midfield just roaming around all over the place. That's a bit mad, you know.
Yeah, and I told you, the only way that works, bro. The only way that works is if you have like a prime N'Golo Kante, who had 3 lungs.
With mobility that could keep up and just run all over the place, bro.
Run all over the place, yeah.
Because that is mad. That was mad. That was mad. The question here from Bobby. Bobby, to be fair, if you could give us a light loan, or you could take Maguire or something like that, then we'll probably do something. But until then, I don't know, fam. I don't know, bro, because the finance probably ain't financing. You get me? You could you take Maguire if you want, like a light 30. But since it's you can take it for like 40.
I heard he sports Spurs anyway, so you know.
Yeah, you can take him. You can take him.
Barry said he used to watch Paul Gascoigne and them, man, back in the day.
Yeah, he said man like Klinsmann and them, all them man there. He liked them man there. So you can have him.
When he beat Chelsea in the final, it was the best day of his life.
Yeah. That's why he married a Spurs fan. His wife is a Spurs fan, lifetime season ticket holder and all that. But the player ratings from I don't know what your man will say on these player ratings here. Yo, the chat, you're getting involved in this player ratings here. What are we saying for Andre Onana, people? I'll start to see him.
I give him a standard 6. I thought he made a good save towards the end.
Willy Bolly one.
Yeah. People been a little critical with him in the first goal. I thought, you could ask some questions, but at the same time, you did a good job. And to be honest, after that, there was nothing much in it in terms of Nottingham Forest going up there and attacking. He wasn't really tested as much. It was more defenders getting in the way and intercepting it. So I give him a 6.
All right. Any problems with that one there, or you man comfortable with that 6 as well?
I think it's slightly generous, because even for the second goal, he didn't really move. But like C mentioned, I did think he recovered somewhat. He did pull off some decent saves as well. So
I mean, he got a yellow card and got me 0 points in FPL. So
I was happy with some of the saves he made afterwards. And I suppose you have to give him credit for that, because sometimes, especially as a keeper, after you conceded in the manner that he conceded, it's very easy for your head to drop.
Yeah. I get that. I get what you're saying.
You know, so you still have to concentrate, and to pull out 1 or 2 of the saves that he did. Well done.
All right. Rush Wan-Bissaka.
What did you see from Wamby today, bro? Boy, I can't.
Let's be honest here. I'm no big Wan-Bissaka fan here. That guy's improving, you know.
He's improving, but like with the
No, I know what you will say. Yeah, he's not at the level of creativity what you expect from a team of all caliber that you would expect.
That's not really his game, innit? Really, so I can't.
Yeah, but what I'm
him
saying though is what you're seeing from Wan-Bissaka, fam. Brother, I saw Wan-Bissaka playing left back, fam. At one point, he went through the midfield, passed the ball, collected the ball, went across to the left hand side, got the ball back, passed, and ran and made space and was pointed past the ball back, fam. And he kept making himself available. Him and Anthony had a nice little thing for a little bit. Wan-Bissaka is improving, you know, even though I'm not the guy biggest fan, but he's improving, fam. This is not where you want improvement. You want improvement from the younger ones, but he's doing something.
Yeah, but still, it's not personally what I would like from a right back. But I mean, with what Ten Hag's doing with this inverted stuff, no, man, it's all a bit mad. Me and C were talking earlier, and I know you were a big fan of Malo Gusto when he was at Lyon.
Wait, man, don't know that
guy. And you know, when you see the 2 assists the other night for him, like you can't help but think, what could have been, man? What could have been?
He's a loser.
For us to have a direct option like that, we would just do the simple things and put the ball into the box and that, bro.
All right. So what would you give Wan-Bissaka though?
Listen, standard 6 is generous, I think.
Wow. You have no behavior here, but okay, cool. Vibes. Varane. He only played one half, actually.
Yeah, they see him playing it, so.
Oh, bloody hell, forget. Yeah, Martinez.
I was gonna say, just don't give me Varane in it. Yeah. I'll give him a 6. I don't know if he was in the first half, but yeah, second half, I thought he was okay.
I think the header, the goal from the header with Bully Bolly, I think he could have done more, you know, because let's be honest,
and that was a bit of him and Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, because the ball came right. I was like, brother, the ball is passing right next to you, big man.
Yeah. And I'm still annoyed about the first goal, you know. I just can't believe one of our centre backs were the one picking up a one.
Like, am I wrong? Yeah, I know. Licha is like 5'9", whatever, short. Yeah. Why is he going up for corners at all times, bro? Why can't he like stay halfway line? That's just me though. I keep watching it and I'm like, brother, why is this guy in the box for the corners, fam? Like, what's going on?
And you know what? You know his keen eye for a pass and everything as well. And you know how he could pick out one. It would make sense if he was the one that dropped back out.
I never understood why him and Wan-Bissaka can't be the 2 options at the halfway line. They could both tackle. One is quicker than the other. They will complement each other in that aspect.
Yeah.
Why?
If you win the ball back, it gives us a nice little option as well for Martinez.
Yeah, and I never understood it, bro. I'm like, what the hell is going on, fam? I don't know, bro.
But honestly, I would love it at some stage if we pull up the statistics on our set pieces, man. I'm sure it's one of the worst in the league.
Yeah, well, based on the duels one, fam, you know what's going on with duels, fam. Varane, I'll do Varane. I can't lie, yeah. He looks a little clumsy, like he's still rusty. I don't know if it takes him a bunch of games to get up the park, but he looks that way. But he was making bare recovery tackles for us, though. I can't lie. That first half, he was making loads of recovery tackles. That's just in my opinion. So I would say 6. Bro, ain't nobody getting good ratings here. 6 at most.
You can't, innit? Like you conceded twice.
Yeah, I'll say 6 at most. That's the best I give him. 6. Paxton is saying 5.5. Nix is saying 6 as well. Yes, 6 is at most like a game. It's one half. You only play one half as well, so 6 is as most I can give him. CM, who's that? All right, Dalo.
Early on, gave away the free kick that led to the goal. I think overall I'd probably give him, between a 5 and a 5.5. I didn't really notice him too much in the game, but at the same time, Serge Aurier, I can say, had quite a few opportunities down his neck of the fields in terms of crossing the ball in to Morgan Gibbs-White on a pullback. Even Morgan Gibbs-White went through and he just took too long to make a decision in terms of putting the ball towards the back post. So there was a lot of activity down that side of the pitch. So I'll probably end up giving him a 5.
You think it's because of he's played out of position because he was a bit sticky still.
And do you think it's because he was a victim of what Ten Hag's trying to do? Because really,
Bro,
it's mentioned earlier on in the stream.
At
one point,
I kept saying this at one point.
He was on the right wing.
Back, and he was on the right wing ahead of Anthony, fam. And Barca was trying to tell me that they were trying to make overloads. Brother, overloads. What if they make a bad pass and this might have a counter? Which went on to happen. They had a counter.
Yeah.
Bro, he was nowhere back to help the defense, fam. It was
I even saw him in the cam position at one point of the game.
Bro, so, I don't trust that inverted stuff too much, bro. It's a bit mad.
Because I'll tell you what, really, it's like based on what we've seen at Ajax, yeah, he used to use Daley Blind as his left back to build up attacks when he was overloaded.
Daley Blind is really good on the ball, though. He could pass.
Yeah. So if he were to try something similar, it would make sense to play Martinez there. But then I don't think we've got adequate cover at centre back if we do that.
Yeah, but then that's like a whole different thing because we talk about Daley Blind, who was playing left back, but he was just playing like tucked in. He wasn't going forward and doing all this madness. His brother was on the right wing. He was playing calm. He was playing DM.
But I think he was a victim.
He was playing every damn position.
I think he was a victim of whatever Ten Hag had in mind, man.
This guy's a Roman left back, you know.
Yeah,
is that a new position, fam?
Plus, he was thrown into that position after Shaw's injury, so he would have had to have adapted to what Ten Hag expected of him really quickly throughout the week leading up to this game.
And that would have taken him a while to suss out as well. And I'll tell you what, I know there was a lot of people calling for Alvaro Fernandez to start this game. I'm glad he didn't, you know, because this isn't really the situation you want to throw a kid into.
That is true. So what you give him? See him like a 5, 6?
Yeah, 5.
All right. Casemiro brush.
Cass, overall, I was pleased with Cass. There were certain things he could have improved. Obviously, that first half, I don't know how he didn't score, bro. Don't know how he didn't level things up.
That is true. That header was a madness because I'm like,
it was probably harder to do what he did than to actually just score. I don't know what was
happening. The ball was
happening.
next to him, you know. It was like,
bro,
fall on it, do something, bro. The ball is right there.
Yeah. But,
I feel like it may have been a situation where you didn't actually notice the goalkeeper was so far to that left-hand side, so he ended up just trying to glance it into the corner just in case, and then you got it completely wrong.
True, and well, to be fair, the ball kind of, I mean, this is just me, the ball kind of bounced up, though. When it came to him, it kind of bubbled and bounced up kind of way. I'm not making an excuse for him anyway, but it kind of just bubbled and bounced up, so I don't know if that kind of threw him off as well. Because he had to jump to try to get it on target. I don't know.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I'd be generous with him with a 6, man, because he scored at least. Didn't he?
All right. Eriksen, what are you saying, Vibes?
You know what? I was actually impressed that I saw him running back and making a few tackles, you know.
He did.
That actually impressed me. From what I saw, obviously, just second half, I'll give him a 6.5. Or especially defensively, I can't lie. I thought when I saw it was him in the pivot, I thought, this ain't looking good. But he tracked back a lot today, so
it's just about managing his minutes, isn't it? That's the only thing with Eriksen.
And choosing when to play him and how to play him, bro.
Yes.
But you don't want him to have to do the excessive running thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, really. I think back to how Fergie used to use Ryan Giggs in his later years, where he was very selective on which matches and that.
I think that's the problem.
There's something. Go on.
Now Mount's injured. You might have to see him again next week. Which
there's something that me and Paxton always go on about it because Paxton, obviously, you don't really like Mount like that, and he's preferred to see Eriksen there, and the reason why is because he thinks Eriksen gives Bruno the freedom to play higher up the pitch and don't have to like run all over like a madman because he will more or less control the game from deep.
And also,
Look
it
at
doesn't push Bruno out of position, innit? Because with Mount,
Yeah.
I feel like they both take up similar kind of spaces.
But we'll get to Bruno because I saw some things there. We'll get to Bruno because, let's be honest, it wasn't the smoothest performance in terms of. We'll get to it. We'll get there. So that was 5 said 6 for him. I'll do Anthony. Yeah, that brother. Yeah, Anthony. Yeah.
He started off very brightly, really. It's like in under a minute, he had a shot.
But I'm
He
thinking
keeps
5,
trying to do that one thing, innit, bro?
4.5. That's the problem, bro.
He keeps doing that one thing.
Bro, when you know what was mad? Yeah, I'm listening. I don't know what channel you might watch the game on, but what I was watching it on, the commentator said, "Oh, I didn't even know he had a right foot, fam. It's a breath of fresh air to see him finally go on the outside." I was like,
"Oh, really? I had an absolute mazza, bro.
Incredible.
I was watching with Spanish commentary, man. It was crazy,
bro. When the commentator said it's a breath of fresh air to finally see him use his right foot, I'm like, bloody hell, fam. Even these man talking about
Anthony. Crossed it with his right foot. Go on, Anthony.
He did it once, vibes. He did it once.
Yeah, and it should have been a goal, so it's not his fault.
All right, okay. I'll give him a 4.5 to 5. That's as much.
Yeah, I've not really been doing the 0.5s, you know. I've just been going for solid.
4 or 5, he's getting fat.
Yeah.
4 or 5, I don't know. 4 or 5, bro, because he ain't really doing the Mazzoline either, fam. Bruno Fernandes, what are you saying, C?
Well, it was one of those typical Bruno games, right? Where with the team, pretty much, there were some struggles in terms of finding the right pass, making the right decisions in certain areas. But, you know, in the end, we look at the game and we see how he basically was key to the turnaround, scoring that winning penalty as well, being a part of that brilliant assist to Casemiro, where Rashford finds him. Great movement by Bruno to get into the area and then a header towards the back post. So in the end, I'd probably give Bruno a 6 just based on how he contributed to the comeback. There are still some issues I'm sure people will speak about. And I like pretty much to focus on the whole team because if he's a part of it, there are a lot of people a part of it as well. But yeah, I think we can give him credit for how he spurred the comeback with the other guys as well. But yeah, I give him a 6.
Yeah, I give him a 6. You see, the thing is, I think if you play in the 10, right? Obviously, you play in the 10, you play in the hole behind the striker. You will be that key guy that we will expect to be there for the striker to be bouncing off of most of the times. So we could get interchanges in and around the box. So we could free each other up or you could play in the wing or something. This brother, I don't know what is his position, but he's everywhere. So it's kind of hard for a striker to actually get any kind of link play or bouncing off each other there because he is everywhere.
It would also help, really, if we had a proper 9.
Yeah, but no. What I'm saying here, Brush.
To play
Martial was staying, trying to be a focal point here, and I'm not even defending the brother. He was trying to be a focal point. So when he got the ball, he will move to at least let whoever is there run into space. Brother, Bruno was everywhere, fam. So he couldn't run into those spaces. So when he get the ball and he moved, there's no one to run in.
So you saying that Bruno occupies spaces that others should be?
Exactly. Because
one or two things.
Think about it. If you're the cam or you're the 10, right? You're the main guy there behind the striker. We expect you to be occupying. So you won't have the DM busy, and then the defenders have to keep an eye on you as well. But when you're popping up everywhere, the striker's going to get outnumbered at all times.
That is the thing that has confused me. I would say and I know, but there will probably be people out there that criticize what I say. But in terms of the way we're set up on ball, I do still think it's a little all over the place. And there's a bit of chaos to it. And chaos that may benefit us sometimes, but also chaos that won't treat us well.
I hear you. The way we set up with that chaos, yeah, if we had two strikers on the pitch at the same time, I could see it because they could link with each other. But we have one, and then everyone is just all over the place. I just don't understand how it's supposed to work on the final third. Go ahead, Vibes.
I was gonna say if Dallo was awake, we would have had 2 training ground goals today. Because the equalizer, sorry, that was definitely a training ground one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, 6 is all right. I'm not gonna.
All right, 6. Who else do we have here?
Yeah, there was 1 or 2 things that annoyed me about him as well. The fact that he keeps shooting from everywhere, man. Why?
Because like CM said, that keeper's a waste man, innit? So you might as well test him.
Well, no. If it was a proper testy shot, I can understand it. But this was just one for the
We're
statistics.
not call it a testy shot, please, because that sounds a bit.
Bro, in the first half, he had a shot from like 35 yards.
It was literally just a shot on target. It was just one for the stats and that. It was madness.
Bro, I'm like, bro, it was so far out, but when it got there, he just scored the ball and I was holding it like, really.
But then also credit where credit's due, because for that assist, he did very well to stay on side. It was instinctive. I like that movement. That was very intelligent play.
That's normal. So we have Rashford. Yeah, you could hold that one there, Rush.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. Like we already discussed earlier. Man. Yeah, he's not a striker, innit? He's not a striker. He looked uncomfortable. I know he got the assist for Eriksen, and that was nice. But aside from that, I wasn't too happy with his performance overall today. But again,
bro, West Ham are touching Brighton up, flipping hell.
Swear down.
Bro,
Who scored?
Mitoma hype.
Well, I don't know who scored, but I know they're getting touched up. Yeah, I know Ward-Prowse scored the first one.
Weekends in the mud.
All right, well, I can't even give him Martial. So Martial gets a 4.55.
I call like the last 2 minutes of the first half. So just remind me, this is first half, yeah? There was a shot where Martial was running and he seemed more focused on blocking Aurier than going for the shot.
Yeah,
I can't remember the second half or first one.
I know what you're talking about. That's when they did a little switch. So he was coming across him on the left side. I don't know why he did that, though. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if he was expecting someone to run onto the ball, so he tried to hold him up, but I don't know what happened there.
I'll give him a plus point for not getting injured. So.
Wow. Mad.
Listen, big leg survived 60 minutes. It's a positive.
He gets a 4.5 then, yeah?
Yeah.
So what do we give Rashi? 5? 5 for Rashi?
Yeah.
Can I say something about Rashford real quick?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys are seeing it, but
Bones scored.
This season so far, I've been really concerned with his body language. I do understand playing up top, there was a bit of frustration there, but even today, you could see that there's a bit of that. I wouldn't say. I just think there's pent up anger inside of Marcus Rashford right now, and I'm not exactly sure why.
You saw it when he got subbed in the last game, right? See?
Yeah. And there was even an incident today where he kind of reacted to a referee's decision and accidentally kicked the ball towards one of the ball boys on the side of the pitch. But there just seems to be a lot of pent-up anger that isn't really being exerted in the right way in terms of, scoring goals and stuff like that inside of Marcus Rashford. And yeah, that's a little concerning to me.
I hear you. I hear that. Lindelof, I'll take Lindelof. I didn't think he did anything wrong though. That little time he came in.
No, I thought Lindelof was alright.
And you know what? This is going to surprise you all. Lindelof is actually getting aggressive. I'm like, yo, I saw Lindelof came and bundled over someone and jumped him on the head, and I'm like, yo, go on, Lindelof, look at this brother. Where he come from?
It's one of the things we've been crying out for that's missing from his game.
Yeah, usually when you see Lindelof, it's like, oh, he's just there, fam. He's just there. Yeah. Man's just, I was like, yeah, go on, Lindelof. You show them. You tell them. Like, go on, Lindelof. So I'm tempted to give Lindelof a 6. Like Paxton is saying, I can't lie.
Yeah.
He didn't, but you only played one half though, so now he'll get a 5.
Yeah, that's the thing, innit? You only played one half, so you can't really go high.
You get a 5. But he didn't do anything wrong though. I didn't see anything he did wrong.
And technically speaking, he kept a clean sheet.
Technically.
Check technically, just him.
CM Sancho.
Jadon Sancho. To be honest, you could probably give him a standard 5 coming on. I don't think attacking wise he had a lot of opportunities to make his mark today, which again I think is a shame because I know we're far away from the preseason now, relatively speaking, but he definitely does deserve an opportunity at some point. But right now, Erik ten Hag seems set on the attack that he's playing with right now, especially when Højlund comes back. There won't be much of an opportunity for guys to rotate unless we get into the stages where other competitions come into play. So I'll give him a standard 5.
And I don't think that's much to complain. McTominay, that's all yours, Dave Rush. That's the last guy.
Vibes is no.
No, that's yours.
No, I'll give that to Vibes.
No, that's yours. That's yours.
No, it's all...
No, it's all yours. Vibes is not there.
Insist.
It's all yours.
No, I'll give that to...
Yeah, but he's not there though.
What do you mean?
He said I'll be back. I'll be 2 minutes.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I thought he just went
I'm
silent.
trying to tell this guy, brother, he's not there.
just said it.
No, you know what? The comments blocking where he would be in it, so I'm not even deep in that he's not here. You know.
No, he's there. He's just not here at the present time.
Yeah. Yeah, what did I see from McTominay, man? I can't really report.
So you got a wound to his head, fam. That's all I saw.
Yeah,
fam.
I can't really report nothing. Just the box standard.
Nah. 3-0 West Ham. Nah, what's going on here, fam?
Oh wow! Oh, they're getting moved too. Yeah, just the box, just the box standard, brother. What did he give Sancho 5? I don't even think. I don't even know if I saw a 5 in McTominay, if I'm being honest.
Bro, you get a wound to his head, fam. So participation points, fam. Like a 4 or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Like attendance mark, innit? Like he's not done it.
Once attendance mark, fam. Are we in school, fam? What's going on, man? Well,
listen, he was warming up.
You get a mark for turning up, innit? So okay, he's not done anything else.
He's warming up for the Arsenal game, you said, yeah?
Yeah, we're seeing him next week. Hopefully, anyway, we see him.
All right. People, that's the match reaction and player ratings in one. Man, appreciate these man for coming through. Pick up all in the chat. See, tell these man what to find you, big man.
Hey, blessings to everybody inside. Make sure you go and tune in to read this. He'll be doing regular watch-alongs, match reactions, talking points, all of that stuff this season. You can find me on CM22ENT on YouTube, Twitch, CM22, second channel as well, and on Twitter. I'll be doing the United Twins all season long, reacting to the game myself and my twin bro. I'll be doing some watch-alongs here and there when it makes sense as well. You can catch me over on Twitch for some gaming and Twitter for general discussion. Big up to Redis and everyone in the panel, everyone in the chat as well.
All right, guy. Nick's reminded us we forgot man like 10 Heisenberg, fam. What y'all saying for 10-10, fam?
Definitely
up
not
to
a
me,
10.
fam.
Definitely not a 10.
Michael Antonio, yeah, bloody hell. I'll give him a bro. He's getting a 4, fam. 5, 4 for something there. Bro.
I'll give him something in between, yeah, probably like a 5.5, 5.5, because horrific start, and you're a part of that preparation.
Yeah,
did well to get back into the game, and I guess it's what he said that spurs them to, motivates them to go back into the game and equalize and win it in the end. So I'll probably give him a 5-ish, just because you salvaged it towards the end of the game. I didn't like what was happening with them being down to 10 men and us just not being able to control the game, but you've come to expect that from the team. Yeah. And you could say the substitutions didn't help that, maybe. I don't know, but what are the options?
He looked proper annoyed, though. I don't know why. But every time the camera respond to him, he looked proper annoyed, bro. And he just keeps shaking his head like, that's not what I said, bro. That's not what I asked you, man, to do. It's like they ain't doing what he asked or something, bro. He just looked proper annoyed, fam. So I want to hear the presser. I want to hear what he's saying after because he looked like he was pissed.
Well, maybe a professionalism issue at Manchester United still.
What do you think he's studying his job under fire? Yeah.
I'm potentially looking at some of these players and saying, well, we've had the same conversation under previous managers as well. Obviously, there are some new faces there.
100%.
For the most part, there are some pre-existing players from past regimes. I don't know.
I get you. People, appreciate y'all. Make sure you go over there to CM22 on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Go subscribe over there. Go follow. Go support the man them, yeah? Brush is an EOP. He's always on Twitter trying to add the C word to stuff. We don't do that.
Big up.
Vibes, you'll see him at the Taylor Swift concerts, fam.
Context over everything.
No, get out of here. Get out. Get out.
Nah,
Get out.
ignore Brush. Yeah, ignore Brush.
Okay. Get out. Get him out, fam. Get him out. People,
Brush is a
love for the
fake,
love,
never
yeah?
forget.
We catch y'all in the next one. We out.
Take care.
Brush out.